I used to wake up in the morning, and every single morning I would scroll on my phone, okay? And back then I didn't really know like the actually like the side effects of this like fucking toxic behavior, why I'm constantly doing that. But before I get into that, I want to tell you that if you're scrolling as soon as you wake up in your phone, you're rewiring your brain in a way to feel that you are creating that fear of missing out feeling in your life. And I'll tell you the reason behind that. When I used to scroll in the morning, I would scroll for like basically like I was 20 minutes, okay? And once I stopped scrolling, I would like think about, damn man, my life actually suck. I'm seeing all these people enjoying their life, going out with their friends, traveling, having girlfriends, and in the meantime, I'm trying to figure out my life. I'm not where I want to be, and I'm constantly trying to figure out this. I'm constantly trying to figure out my life, and constantly seeing other people living that great life. But I'm not seeing behind the curtains how actually fucked up their life is, because we all have that struggles and problems in our life. But in social media you don't see any of those, you only see the good things, you know. And then I would think that like, oh yeah, like, you know what, like I really need to plan something this weekend. It's not normal that I'm gonna stay at home and work on my side hustle, or I'll try to figure out what I want to do with my life, or other things that like I need to do. So my priority became that I have to figure out what I'm gonna do this weekend. So I realized that I have to cope, you know, and I would make plans with friends. I would go out on the weekends. I would act like I'm having so much fun and post pictures on social media, show that my life is doing very good, and I'm kind of like want to show people that I had a belonging. I had friends. I had like I'm going out. I have a crew, and I realized that like, do I really want to do those stuff, or I'm doing it out of this comparison thing that I want to feel that I'm the part of the crew. I want to prove myself that, hey, look at my life from the other screen, that, oh, Chris is living his life. And the whole point of this is that this coping thing is that this, when you're coping from the real life, and basically that means you're not really trying to figure out your purpose or what you want to do in life, you're trying to look for exit. Okay, you keep like, it's basically, if you look at people who work 9 to 5 most of the time, they will work their ass off Monday to Friday, let's say, and then Friday would come and they're like, oh yeah, finally it's Friday, bro. And they would go out on Friday, they would go out on Saturday, and Sunday they will be probably like doing fuck all because they have to rest. They drink the Friday and Saturday like a dog, and then on Sunday they will be like, oh yeah, it was what a weekend, and they will go back to the job they had hate on Monday, and they would continue doing this for years. Can you believe that? They would continue doing this for years. And anyways, I used to do that behavior, and then I'm like, I realized that like when I would like go for a walk, let's say, it will annoy me. I'm like, why I'm not doing anything? Or when I would do something that is like maybe a bit more creative or a bit more like bringing me down, like in terms of like it's making me slow down, it will always like annoy me, you know. And then one day I read this book. It was about the most successful creators in the world, Albert Einstein, Thomas Edison, and anyways, all these people. And then I find out that most of these people, they would do boring things. First of all, they would go on long walks, and like they will let their mind like wander. And I don't know if you ever realize that too. Sometimes I would take a hot shower and there's this crazy good ideas would come to me. But if you're constantly scrolling on social media, you're creating that FOMO, that your life is not like where you want to be, and you're constantly creating those escapes plans. And oh, I have to travel this summer, or I have to go to Europe trip, or I have to do this. But what about your goals and dreams? What about what you want to do with your life? You don't think about those stuff. You only think about those stuff when the time is too late. And this is the one thing that I realized: social media creating that FOMO, that your life suck. And you can only make that change, by the way, like I'll tell you one more reason before I jump into it. we also try to get that like good feeling through social media, through scrolling and seeing entertainment and XYZ. But that internal happiness you're trying to get from social media, that actually comes you're trying to get it externally, but that comes internally in real life. And if you keep gonna look for your external fulfillment, happiness outside, you're never gonna accomplish anything in your life, and you're not gonna find what you want to do in your life. So you will constantly let other people tell you how you should live your own life. And that's the fucked up thing about social media in general, scrolling you call it. Like, look at people anymore. Nobody can sit down and watch a 2-hour movie anymore, because we are constantly oh, I'm bored. I need to check your phone. Even I used to go to movie theaters. It happened to me actually a month ago. I went in the movie theaters, bunch of people pulling up their phone in 20 minutes into the movie. We don't have any more control of our behaviors, and we are constantly in this fear of missing out. What notification is gonna come? Who messaged us? Can you just chill and do nothing? Basically do nothing. You can't. You're always in the action mode. Social media created this. We were not like this to an extreme point. You know what I mean? So the main point that I wanted to make out of this video is that the FOMO is not real. I'm sorry, it is not real. Your life is real, and what you want to create is real. So once you learn to get bored and try to ask yourself, what do I want to do in my life? Do I want to constantly look other people's life and try to get the fulfillment from there? Or I can create that fulfillment internally, go to the gym, wake up early, pray to God, have good group of friends I don't need to be constantly going clubbing or trying to cope with my life, but try to figure it out internally, not always trying to cope with social media. That's what I wanted to talk about today, because enough is enough. Your life is beautiful, trust me. The fact that you're alive, that just, you could have been a bug or monkey or something else. You're born as a human. That's just a luck. I hope you make the most out of your human existence.